Good morning, YouTube. I'm Zachary Fowler, and this is Sunday morning Q&A before the release of Sunday's 87-day video. Unfortunately, it's going to be way before the release of Sunday's 87-day video because I was not able to finish it last night. I've been working on it all week with the ice fishing, so it will be released this evening, Sunday evening, so you'll still be able to watch it, put your feet up, watch it. The videos are starting to take a longer, it's just too much going on in the video to turn it into a 14 to 17 minute video. So it's looking like they're going to be probably this season's 87-day videos are going to be like 30 minutes long, which I think worked really good with last week's video. Got a lot of views. I didn't hear anything negative about the length of it. So I think that's just going to be the way it is. I did so much this week with the ice fishing and the different adventures ice fishing, and surprisingly managed to get any of that done while being sick at the same time. Monday I was completely out of the game, taken right down, just the flu or something, I don't know. Yep, I own firearms. I only got one right now, my 3220, older firearm, awesome firearm. What was that about the bird trap video? Came from your bird trap video, Oh, thanks. The bird trap video is so much fun. My Uncle John said that that is his favorite video that I've ever done, is the bird trap video. So, I thought it was pretty cool. But I like, since then I've become more and more complicated to the point where it takes me forever to make a video, and I don't know how I did it last year, getting out 3 videos a week. Right now, like since the new year, I've been so far behind. It's been good though to take a little bit of a, take a breath and have some time to regroup and put some more into it, so that I'm not just cranking out videos, but I'm gonna put out some really good stuff. Buckles came for the new. Not for this, but for the Slingshot survival bracelet I'm making, and I'll be for sale on my website. So there, I got fire starter buckles to be incorporated into the bracelet, just like the one here that you've seen in my video. So I'm hoping the bracelet, I'm thinking somewhere between, I don't know, 38 bucks and 56 bucks or something like that for the survival slingshot bracelet when I sell them on the website. Fire cord incorporated, the fire buckles from WAZOO, so it'll be pretty cool. That's gonna be fun. And came up with some other cool ideas this week to make some smaller videos, like how to repair that sweater that shrank on you. I've watched a couple of videos on it, and there's just nothing out there that's sufficient, like shows how to really truly fix your sweater. They're like, get it wet and you stretch it out, and I've done that, and it comes back a little bit, but I've come up with a new method that I think will really make it so you could find a sweater if it says large at the store and it doesn't fit you, but you're like, oh man, I love this sweater. You found a sweater at Goodwill. You'll be able to, boom, bring it back to life and make it fit you with this new video I'm making. I'm going to work on that. And the Lars Anderson video is coming along slowly. The Lars Fowler Anderson slingshotting is going to be pretty cool. So I will release that tonight. If you guys are just tuning in, 87 days ice fishing adventure. The speed hook is pretty much what I did a lot of fishing with this week. And somebody mentioned a yo-yo, which is a automatic reeling up thing. It doesn't set the hook, so I purchased some of those. So I'm going to try and make another short video later this week with doing some ice fishing with a yo-yo versus the speed hook to see what works better. Not bulletproof coffee this morning. Was more helpful than you. No, that definitely was not the case. So I said maybe the old ball and chain was more helpful than you remember. No, she's been gone since November. I've been covering it up, hoping that I didn't have to reveal that the wife had left. Best slingshot ammo for knocking disc golf out of the tree without damaging the dog food. It's not very accurate, but I bet you dog food would be a good way to knock your disc golf out of the tree without destroying your... I took the kids out in the yard, and because it's like, who cares if you got dog food all over your yard, except for you may have rats if you're doing that. But we use dog food with my little girls. It's light also, so that if they do misfire and hit their hand or something like that. So we were, earlier this year in the spring, we were out there in the yard, and there was the dandelion heads were all fluffy, and the girls were trying to hit them, and they hit them because there was just so many, and so they were just loving it when they were whacking those with dog food and their little slingshots. So that was great. So yeah, we got all kind. I say we, like I have a frog in my pocket. Chris has been helping me. You'll see him for the first time taking a little bit more of a role and actually catching a fish in today's 87-day video. We had a blast. We've been ice fishing. You know, I've been sick, so I've been like, come Tuesday, I was like ice fishing every day. Still feeling sick, but not feverish like I was Monday. That was ridiculous. This is the first time I've been sick in over, I don't know, it must be a year and a half or something. Some ridiculous amount of time. It was crazy. Inside the house, what is it? My target inside the house is a like a jeans material I got at Goodwill. You know, you could buy bolts of fabric there that people thought they were gonna make stuff and never did. So it's I sewed it so it comes down and kind of like if you're looking at it from the side, it's like a J shape. So and you hit it, it goes into the back of there, and then it goes down and it catches in that J shape at the bottom of the J. But just in front of that, in the middle of that, is also a curtain, and that ends in that bottom of that J shape, and that curtain is actually 10 yards long, and that I purchased directly from Walmart as a light cotton curtain, and sewed it at the top of the bottom so I could thread it onto a string, and so it's really wide and stuff, and I shoot it and the balls fall down into the catch box. It's like the biggest catch box I've ever seen anybody make for slingshot shooting, but I love it because I can shoot randomly all over the place. You know, sometimes I focus really hard, and sometimes I just try to put as much ammo into the catch box at a target as possible, which means you get these random ones flying all over the place. Oh, there you guys are. Hopefully that stays as one stream. Something happened. I had to reconnect. Zach, what time would you choose for a customized... What items would you choose for a customized Leatherman? Same as before, spoon gouge, the pick, which I was like gonna use as a sewing awl, but then I ended up using it like as a really sharp pick I made onto it. I want to make 2 files on my custom multi-tool. I think would be the best. Hello, Sparrow. You come say hi to everybody? Say hi. Hi, everybody. What you got there? Got some horses? Some horses. Horses, of course. You haven't seen Mr. Ed, so you have no idea when I say horses, of courses. Anyways, so yeah, pretty much the same multi-tools I had out on a loan, except for this time I would add 2, I'd have 2 files. So I'd add an extra file to it, maybe one that came off with a diamond stone on one side and still a file on the other. So I'd really only be adding one more file that would be able to file the shovel. My file made it just to the end of that 87 days with all the use that I put it through. Thank you for the best outdoorsman on you. How much do you spend on ammo? How much do I spend on ammo in a year? I don't know. That's something I'd have to calculate, because when I shoot outside, I use what was that stuff I called in my video that Luke Solderling brought me? I keep wanting to say tannerite, but tannerite's the stuff that you shoot and it blows up, which would be cool if a slingshot could blow it up, but it doesn't. You'd have to watch my video with Luke Solderling to see the stuff that he gave me, or my last Guinness World Record shoot off. I use that stuff, and it's clay and I can't get the word. A material that they put it on the trains and they use it to make iron. So it doesn't matter if it goes off into the woods. But when I'm trying to do something accurate, I use 7/16 ammo outdoors, and that does get lost. And so I've probably gone through 5 pounds of ammo last year outdoors. How much do you spend? So whatever that costs on Amazon, because I just bought it on Amazon. You're frozen in Maine, I guess. Yeah. What project do you have coming up this spring? I got a lot of projects coming up. Gonna be heading out to Portland, Oregon in 2 weeks. Oh, I was on Jimmy Moore's keto podcast this week, talking about my time on Alone, and he's an expert on keto, the ketogenic diet, and has written the book Keto Clarity, and it's the one that I read after I came back and kind of healed my stomach from carbs, and kind of created a whole new being able to stay healthy for me, and just being able to stop eating after coming back so hungry. And little horses behind me. And so I'll do a community post with a picture of him and I, and a link to the podcast if you guys are interested in that. I know some of you have followed me and said you started doing the ketogenic diet. If you are having a hard time not overeating and always been struggling with that the way I have my whole life, you know, and 223 going into Alone, and then now that I got back, I was starting to gain weight again, and now I've been able to control my weight and be able to be healthy and have more energy and get up early in the morning when I've never been able to do that before. I've always been bad at getting out of bed in the morning. It's just like I had to just do it, and it just hurt, you know? So I'll post a community post with a link to that later this week. Using the torque, what bands do you use? Honestly, I use, my favorite is just the straight latex bands that I sell on my website with the Warrior pouch. It is the best band set you could possibly have. It's wintertime now though, so I've switched over to a lot. The torque as well has red bands. You'll see that in today's video when I post that. I'm hoping I'll be done by 6 o'clock tonight. I got church, and then bring the kids back to Jamie. Since it's her day with them after church every Sunday. They go back to her, go to her house until I get them back in 3 days. So I will post that, and you'll be able to see that. The always flat latex bands. I never use the on the torque, those tubes that come with the torque. But there is a taper configuration you can change them to that makes it actually kind of fun too. But I don't like those torque bands. I don't think it should have ever been created to shoot those. Borax. What about borax? Takanti. Are we just throwing stuff out here? Like, aftershave. You know, I'm just gonna start throwing stuff out. Yeah. Do you hunt with your slingshot? I have hunted with the slingshot, but it's illegal in the state of Maine, so I can only hunt certain things. Like I can hunt mice, you know, in my barn, or I can hunt like my friend a year ago had farm ducks that he had, and he said I could harvest them, so I was able to harvest the farm ducks. I got a squirrel in Vermont. Might have been, yeah, I don't know. But I just did it out of reaction after I had gotten back from Alone. Went like 2 weeks later, after getting back from Patagonia, I went to visit my parents, and there was a squirrel, and I had my slingshot, and I was still in kind of like hunger mode, and I was just like, whap, and shot him, got him in one shot. One and done, dead. And man, and I ate him, of course. And they were all like a little bit horrified. They're like, what are you doing? You're still like out there in your mind. Or used a flex cut carving jack multi-tool Ever seen the, is that the multi carving tool? I've seen that. I've never used it. It looks pretty neat. I haven't seen anything in any of those items that make me want to more include that in my modification. I liked my can opener thing though. There's that little piece that sticks off of my can opener, and I turn that into a spoon gouge. That little hook you do that sticks out when you do a deep enough thing was in the way, so that needs to go. I haven't been able talked to Swiss Army, they sent me that message, and then we linked up, and then I don't know, those kind of companies take a long time to get back around to replying again and again, you know. But it was their idea to talk initially, so I'm sure they'll get back to me. Ever tried leather tanning? We did tan. I have tanned a couple hides of my goats and stuff. Jamie and I tanned some chipmunks that we gave away as bookmarks, which were pretty funny, you know. So they're like flat with the little. We took the paws off. I wish we had kept the paws on so that you could stick it in the book, and you got the little back paws hanging off, and the tail sticks out of the book. And it makes a great bookmark. If you guys want to make a good gift for somebody for Christmas, tan yourself a chipmunk for a chipmunk bookmark. They're perfect. They're not too thick so they mess up your books or anything. Not divorced yet. She filed the day she walked out the door, and I was like, surprise, guess what? And so that's all in the court system right now. So yeehaw, fun stuff. Yes, it works well. What is your goal weight? And how often do you weigh yourself? I don't weigh myself much anymore. If I'm changing things and stuff like that, I might weigh myself again, but I've kind of got it all figured out. A lot of questions about the divorce here. I don't want to be. I'll never give up. You guys know me. If you know me, you know that I love my wife, I love my family, and I don't believe that this is right, and there's any reason for it, and I will never give up. I will never surrender. I will always hope that and pray that God can do something here and do a miracle. I did unpack my books. That was part of the cover photo there. I was just to let you guys know that the book got unpacked last week, and the shelves got organized this week, and so I will be getting into that. I'll try and do a video on that and stuff. And I think I actually found, I haven't confirmed because I was pretty sick, and so I just kind of like, I looked at it for half a second. I think I actually found the book about the fire, how the banking the fire worked, that had that in it. Would you up before another? I don't know that I'd fatten up before another alone. I'd like to do it going in at a regular weight. I think maybe I'd wait to see maybe the last week before it, because I don't want to be unhealthy and just like try to put on a bunch of weight and then take it all back off again. I haven't gone fishing with a rod and reel but like once or twice in the last year. I used to fly fish all the time. I could tie the most beautiful flies in the world. It's like I almost enjoy the making stuff more than I do anything else. Like I spent more time making bows than I actually ever have shooting bows, you know. It's just, you know, that slingshots became my thing, and I love those, and I like don't. I'm able to spend more time shooting them than I am making them, which is so much cooler. I used to tie flies all the time, and I do all this hard work to make these beautiful flies that matched the exact fly of the fly fishing time, and that was hatching a caddisfly or something like that. Wouldn't catch a single thing. Take out a woolly bugger that looks like a leech, you know, with a black tassel, and boom, you know, nailing the fish left and right. It's like, I don't know, what's the point? You just got to find the right thing that attracts the fish, you know. And this week that was shiners, you know. Planning on doing any more collabs with other survivalists, and what do you think of Primitive Technologies? Primitive Technologies, that guy's pretty cool. I have the book from the school that he went to learn all the stuff that, you know, that was one of the books. I suggest you guys definitely, that's a awesome must-have on your shelf book. Primitive Technology. I think that's what it's called, actually. I'm with you, how to keep your family together, the most important for everyone, but most of all, the children. I do my best with the whole, you know, keeping my family together. You know, you don't really get a say in it when your spouse hits the door. That doesn't always work, but You're matching the hatch. I'm trying to read these things out loud. Somebody said it was annoying that I mumble. You're matching the hatch didn't always work. Better to use something that stands out. Yeah, I think a lot of it too is that, you know, it's not like back in the day. You know, in Patagonia, the fish were not from a hatchery. You know, in Vermont growing up, I missed the sweet times. You know, the fish in the lakes and stuff like that weren't necessarily from hatcheries, but the fish in the rivers, all those beautiful fly fishing rivers that everybody loved and were so beautiful, were missing. And I did a paper in school, in high school, for my advanced science class during, and I didn't do a very good job of it, mind you, but pollution in the rivers causing the decline in fish and stuff. And you could see it if you go down the rivers. There's just all kinds of junk. I mean, it was ridiculous. I think that might have something to do with it, and or the pesticides from farms and things like that before we got that all in hand has just reduced the population, and then they try to reintroduce with these farm raised fish and trout, and they're not interested in biting a lure at all. You know, they just lay there lazily and eat what falls into their mouth. And even then, they don't always go after it. They'll go after what looks like a piece of dog food before they go after a beautiful lure that matches the exact conditions. Can you do a video on books you recommend, please? Oh, yeah, I will. Yep, now the books are unpacked. I'm going to get into them this week and look at what's going on with what books that I would recommend. And maybe we'll do one... you know, once a month we'll go through and until I show you all of my favorite books and stuff like that. How is your journey to beat the game? I have been shooting a lot, like always. I shoot a little bit every day, and I'm looking at doing another update video on the journey to beat the Guinness World Record soon, and see how many cans I can actually knock down. Since I practice it in the house, I haven't lined up a board of cans and stuff yet. So that'll be in the next video, and we'll actually know what number I am up to. I'm guessing I'm as much as 16. You think these skills will be needed in your lifetime? Do you think you will see the end of time? I know I'll see the end of my time at some point. I don't think it even matters if skills are necessarily needed in your lifetime. It's all about, like I said, you know, I spend more time tying flies back in the day than I actually did fishing. It's just about making it for me. You know, I love to make stuff. I just, that's my passion, mate. Whether it's making stuff in a video or making the videos. I love making stuff and sharing it with people and talking about it with you guys. I'm sorry I haven't been in the comments and replying. There's just so many comments and so many people, and my dyslexia, I'm a little slow and using that as an excuse now. I just got to get in there and start answering comments more often. That's a bad habit that's happened only since the big Christmas time here. I used to answer every single comment, and then things just took off. As a dad, how are you going to introduce your daughters to the outdoors life full-time? I introduce them to the outdoors as often as possible. We have a blast together as a family doing me and the girls. We're gonna try and build like an Ewok forest this summer is one of my goals. And I want to build like just like from Star Wars, like a little cupola or a little village, you know, like a little thing for the two of them in one tree, and then a little swinging bridge that goes in both directions, and one to Sparrow's little secret place, and one to Abby's little secret place, and little rope swings and nets and stuff like that for them to hang out in and play and to have friends over and play in. A buddy of mine bought a place through the woods on the other side, so when the kids get a little older, they'll be able to traipse a path between the two places, and they can come over and climb in the tree fort and stuff. You know, I want them to have adventures outdoors. I'm not so concerned with buying them electric power wheels, you know, as much as like getting out there and building little forts with them and stuff. Think a little bit about your co-star Marcy in Travelers. Do you does she ever tell you she's a time traveler? I have no idea what you're talking about. Love your channel. Thank you. So if you guys are just tuning in, you're like wondering what in the world's going on, when is he gonna put out today's video? You're gonna have to wait till tonight, around 6 or 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I've been sick all week. I managed to ice fish and film everything. I did not manage to finish the edit. It's like all rough edited and stuff, and which means it's like 2.5 hours long, and so that's just not cool. I'm gonna get it down to 30 minutes. I think this season 2 of 87 days, they're primarily gonna end up being 30 minutes long, and it played out really well last time. It's a nice full half-hour show. Everybody seemed to like it. So hit the road, Zach. Thanks for stopping by. Would you be able to live in the house in the woods now? Would you be able to live in the house in the woods? I am pretty much sure that I'd be able to live anywhere I wish. You know, outside of, in outer space, or at the bottom of the, well, you know, if I had something to live in, at the bottom of the ocean. There is a law against slingshot using for practice and hunting. No, not for practice. There's a law against shooting stuff. I was told, I called the game wardens, and they said there's a law in Maine. There is no law there is no hunting season for any sort of slingshot. So thereby you cannot use a slingshot, just like there is not a spear season for spearing deer. So you cannot spear deer, apparently. So I won't do that again. No, just kidding. So what time is it? Nope, we still got a couple more minutes, and then I have to head off to church, and I'm gonna get my butt right back home here, finish editing the ice fishing video for today. It was quite the adventure. Some good shots. I wanted to get some beautiful drone stuff, but it's been so windy all week, so it's a little bit of drone, a little bit of playing and fun on the ice, and catching fish and smoking trout and fish head soup, and back in adventure and hanging out in the shelter. It's gonna be awesome. You guys are gonna love it. You think your wife could win alone? Nope. She couldn't. You should come to Nova Scotia. I've been to Nova Scotia. Loved Nova Scotia. Beautiful place. What an awesome place. The Highlands of Nova Scotia. So gorgeous. I'd love to get up there again with the drone and fly around. It's like the Highlands and looking down on the ocean and watching whales do their thing. And oh man, was that gorgeous. And I was wondering if you had, oh, and that's coming along too. I'm gonna have a slingshot video on how to shoot the slingshot soon. It's been a crazy, almost been a backwards battle this month to get things back in gear. You know, it's been nice not going completely nuts. I'm probably gonna start doing that every year, every January. Just try to get one video out a week and just take a little bit of a breather and then get right back into it. I got some great stuff coming. I can't wait to finish the Lars Fowler Anderson. I really feel like that's gonna be 1 million views plus, when it's like, instead of doing the archery like Lars, it's gonna be the slingshot. I'm gonna do all the same shots that he does with the bow. Outside, I haven't figured out how to do that new curving the arrow thing that he does with a slingshot. I've tried it with some Nerf balls, and I can curve the Nerf balls, but they're, you never know. They'll curve all over the place. I haven't been able to curve them around a target, around something and hit something. Do any game fish preparation? I did in this week's video prepare the fish. I didn't show gutting it. I just was like, I gutted it and then I realized I didn't show it, and I don't know if anybody cares. It's not that hard to do. Rewatch your Alone season. Thanks for all the videos. Video will be out tonight, the ice fishing one. If you come to Nova Scotia, you could do a meetup. I'd love to meet you and talk. I love meeting people and talking. So if you hear that I'm going to Nova Scotia, send me another message and say, hey, this is where I am. Stop by. Put texture on them like a golf ball. And Blizzard, people have said that. And I bought some wooden balls to shoot with the slingshot to see if I can curve them. I think they curve. Anything will curve over a long enough distance. The more texture, the more as it spins, you get the, what does it call it? A Borealis effect. There's a video on YouTube about a guy that spins a basketball, drops it off like the Hoover Dam or something, and it goes straight down, and then as that curve and the speed take effect, it goes zzz, and it just goes straight out, it goes zinging out. It takes this crazy curve. Because the same effect that happens sort of over a wing. Lit's ball texture works best using... So, all kinds of interesting stuff coming this year. If you are interested in the ketogenic diet stuff, I will post that in a community post. My interview with Jimmy Moore. What is his show called? His podcast. His book is called Keto Clarity, and that's what I read to set me on the ketogenic diet and change my life as far as being able to control like how hungry I am. I've always struggled with that, and especially coming back from alone and gaining all that weight again, and just was just very disappointing. You know, it's like I lost 73 pounds and I come back and I just start bloating up again and feeling sick. And ketogenic diet fixed a lot of that stuff, and now I can control my eating habits. And turns out carbs are the enemy. Not for everybody, but for some people, you are more susceptible to carbs. Eat carbs, you puff up, you don't digest them as well. Some people have a problem, and I found that I'm one of them, and now I eat the most delicious foods with the ketogenic diet. I'll make a community post about that, and you can listen to that podcast if you follow the link through there. Any tips for beginners using a slingshot? Yeah, make sure you have something good to shoot at. Watch my videos. If you go to the playlist, there is one... In the playlist, there are some lessons that I've given to the Boy Scouts in the playlists that are like, and a couple other times, how to shoot a slingshot lessons and stuff. But I will be making a video very soon, directly like talking through like the 3 or 4 different ways in which, you know, you might find that shooting a slingshot works best for you. Because there's like instinctive shooting where you get your body all in line and you focus and you use both eyes and you shoot the target. And then there's like inline shooting where you line up the bands just like you would line up rifle sights, and you put them on a position and you have a cheek lock in an exact place, and then you shoot the target that way by looking down your slingshot bands. And you know, there's a couple different things, and I kind of do all of them depending on my mood. I wanted to know, is Alone All-Stars actually happening? Alone All-Stars, I haven't heard anything. Eat on keto. How long do you not eat on keto? How long do you... regular keto diet, you can eat as much as, you know, every meal that everybody else does. Or I had been intermittent fasting before Christmas, where I didn't eat but once a day for a 4-hour period. During that period, I would have like a meal and a half. I've heard great things about keto diet. It is great. I'm gonna try and add that as a, you know, kind of an important part of the chapter of my book and stuff, because it's made a huge difference in my life. What is your opinion on gear? What is your opinion on gear? I like the minimal, you know. Of course, now I have gear coming out my ears, you know. People sending me stuff. I like to play with new stuff, but the Anchor Church in Rockport we go to now. It used to be Celebration of Life, now it's Anchor Church. It's I don't know what the non-denominational church kind of thing, Christian church. Denominational is usually close to Baptist without the old stigmatas of baptism, Baptist type churchy things that people get weirded out about. Your body was destined to rebound to the weight gain after the starvation method of the show. Not totally your fault for the weight gain. Yeah, well, because of the yo-yo dieting, after the show, my body, was destined to bounce back to a certain amount of weight, but it would just kept going, and I couldn't stop eating, so it wasn't reasonable. But then you find a ketogenic diet, which is, anybody can do a lot of stuff with their diet to change it, and which is adding more fat. The reason that people eat more nowadays is because everybody has been taught to be afraid of fat. You eat less fat means you're more hungry because you haven't satiated that fat desire that your body needs. Because fat is not what makes you fat. Fat doesn't make you fat. It's sugar that makes you fat. Everything we have has sugar in it. Your body takes that and turns that into fat that packs onto your body. Fat doesn't get turned into fat that packs onto your body. Now, granted, you could eat too many calories of fat and then you could start getting fatter too. But the odds are, if you're eating more fat and less sugar, I guarantee you will start losing weight, and you will also eat less because you're satiated. Is there anything you miss from living in your old yurt? I miss, my family seemed a little closer when it was harder to live, I don't know what happened. Have you gone a day in a great learning from you in a video and fun at church? Fowler, so right, I have tons of starting keto for your video. I've lost tons. Oh, you've lost tons from keto? Awesome. Man, I can not remember. Still, this cold is killing me, I can't mentally keep it all together. So this will be sometime around 6 or 7 Eastern Standard Time, hopefully by 6, maybe even 5:30. Today's video will be up. It's all rough edited. It just needs to be fine-tuned with a little music and, and chop it down to get it that sweet, hit that sweet spot so it's entertaining and not big boring segments. And I will post that ice fishing with the speed hook, and then trout and cooking trout and hanging out in the new shelter and good stuff like that. So I'm about that time here where I gotta head off to church, and I hear the littles or Sparrow is getting into something in the other room, so I gotta find out what is going on. Who knows? Something's probably being torn apart that needs to be put back together. She's a little engineer. Just like me. She likes to tear things apart and try to put them back together. She just hasn't gotten the putting them back together yet part. So I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. See you this evening when I post the video. You want to come say goodbye? Come say goodbye. Say bye. Uh-oh. You're poopy? All right, we definitely got to go. See you guys next time. Fowler out.